Welcome to my MCITP video series. My name is Harsh Jangra and you are watching Active Directory Certification Services Part 1. Exactly, the certificate services, it's a huge topic. That's why I divide certificate services into two parts, Part 1 and Part 2. In this particular video, आप सीखेंगे what exactly the use of the certificate, why we use it, and how to implement. That we will going to cover in the next video in the part 2. Whatever the basic idea related to the certificates that we are going to cover in this video, जो भी basic concepts हैं हमारे certificate के क्यों use करना है, क्या उसकी implementation की requirements हैं, और ऐसे कुछ जो general topics हैं that we are going to cover in part 1 and part 2 में हम cover करेंगे how to exactly implement those kind of things in the network. So the very first thing that we are going to cover in this video is certificate use. Exactly, certificate use, as you know that definitely जब हम certificates की बात करते हैं in Microsoft or any other operating system or such kind of information technologies, so definitely the one thing only come with the point, that is security. कैसे भी कुछ भी आप सोच लीजिए, वट एवर यू टॉक अबाउट द सर्टिफिकेट, वो घूम फिर के बात वहीं आती है अबाउट द सिक्योरिटी. सो इनमें आपने सुना होगा एनक्रिप्शन, साइनिंग, डिजिटल साइनिंग एंड ऑल दिस काइंड ऑफ वर्ड्स. ये सारे वर्ड्स हमारे सर्टिफिकेट से रिलेटेड हैं. दैट वी विल चेक इट एंड वी आर गोइंग टू कवर. द सेकेंड थिंग इज PKI हायरार्की. एग्जैक्टली हायरार्की में आपको एक स्ट्रैटेजी कैसे डिज़ाइन करनी होती है फॉर द कंपनी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, दैट वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस soon in this video. The third point is exactly आप जब सर्टिफिकेट सर्विसेज को, या फिर जिसे हम सर्टिफिकेट अथॉरिटीज़ कहते हैं, जब आप उसे इम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं अकॉर्डिंग टू योर स्ट्रेटजी डिज़ाइन इन पब्लिक की इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, सो दैट टाइम आपके पास दो ऑप्शंस होते हैं. देयर आर टू काइंड ऑफ सर्टिफिकेट अथॉरिटीज़ दैट यू कैन इम्प्लीमेंट. वन इज स्टैंड अलोन एंड वन इज एंटरप्राइज. क्या डिफरेंस है इन दोनों में, दैट वी आर ऑल्सो गोइंग टू कवर इन दिस वन. एंड लास्ट नॉट द लीस्ट, installing of CA, we are going to cover today exactly how to exactly install the CA for the network. Let's begin with the first point, the certificate uses. Exactly जैसे मैंने आपको बताया था कि इसको यूज करने के लिए मतलब जनरली हमारे पास एक डिजिटल डॉक्यूमेंट होता है. Why it is called so digital document? Because it is generated by the particular operating system. Sometime it is self-signed or sometime it is generated by some kind of authorities. मतलब क्या है, उनमें सबसे पहला नाम आता है, क्यों हम उसे यूज करेंगे. बस इतना एक वर्ड याद रखिएगा, सर्टिफिकेट सर्विस और सर्टिफिकेट्स इज अ डिजिटल डॉक्यूमेंट स्पेशली यूज्ड फॉर द सिक्योरिटी और द एनक्रिप्शन. बोथ आर द मीन्स वन ऑफ द सेम थिंग एक्चुअली. द वेरी फर्स्ट थिंग इज सिग्नेचर्स. सिग्नेचर क्या है, उनमें सबसे पहला पॉइंट है दैट इज कोड. एग्जैक्टली वेन एवर यू आर ट्राइंग टू डिप्लॉय, जब भी आप वीबी स्क्रिप्ट बनाते हैं या फिर आप पावर शेल स्क्रिप्ट बनाते हैं, या फिर आप मतलब कोई भी पावर शेल स्क्रिप्ट हो गया, वीबी स्क्रिप्ट हो गया वगैरह, आप जब जनरेट करते हैं, आप ये चाहते हैं कि दैट नोबडी कैन चेंज इन दैट पावरफुल जो स्क्रिप्ट आपने डिज़ाइन की है फॉर द सर्वर इम्प्लीमेंटेशन और द सर्वर सिंप्लीफिकेशन. उसको ईजी करने के लिए यू आर द एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर एंड यू डेफिनेटली डू नॉट वांट दैट अगर किसी ने उसे मीन्स एक्सेस भी कर लिया XYZ रीजन की वजह से, स्टिल दैट पर्सन could not be make changes into that particular code. So that you need to apply some kind of signature by using self signed certificate. That means उस टाइम पे हमारे पास कोई और सर्टिफिकेट अथॉरिटी या सर्वर नहीं होता जो हमें सर्टिफिकेट प्रोवाइड करवाए. सो हमारे पास एक ऑप्शन भी है दैट वी कैन यूज द सेम सर्वर टू जनरेट सर्टिफिकेट. सो दैट टाइम योर कोड विल बी encrypted, or in short can say that signature by the certificate, so that nobody else can change into that particular code. The same thing we talk about the drivers. आपने सुना होगा driver signing, or like example I am using Windows 7, as you know that. So in the Windows 7 also, when you're trying to install some drivers, operating system सबसे पहले check करता है it is digitally signed or not. Meaning is, जब भी आपके ड्राइवर्स डिजाइन किए थे पर्टिकुलर मैन्युफैक्चरर कंपनी, जस्ट लाइक आई हैव अ लैपटॉप विद द डेल, मेरे पास डेल का लैपटॉप है एंड जब भी डेल कंपनी ने जब कोई 64 बिट एग्जांपल 64 बिट ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम के लिए एक ड्राइवर उन्होंने क्रिएट किया है एंड दे पुट इट ड्राइवर साइंड आल्सो विद सच सर्टिफिकेट दैट कोई और कंपनी उसमें कोई चेंजेस ना कर पाए बिकॉज ऐसे देर आर सो मेनी प्रोडक्ट और ड्राइवर्स आर अवेलेबल ऑन द मार्केट दैट यू नो सिंगल मीन्स ड्राइवर यू कैन यूज इन द मल्टीपल डिफरेंट डिफरेंट ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम और द हार्डवेयर जहाँ आपने देखा होगा कि अगर HP के ड्राइवर भी हैं तो कभी कभी वो डेल पे भी एक्चुअली हो मीन्स इंस्टॉल हो जाते हैं एंड दे आर वर्किंग एक्चुअली इट इज़ नॉट लाइक दिस. But guys, for the better, working with the hardware and the what you say the collaboration between the hardware and software quite definitely disturb तो होती ही है थोड़ी performance में भी फर्क पड़ता है. So better, that's why the company recommends you to download the driver. So this is all about we can use the certificate as well, or you can use for the email as well. Just like I have one company, we have some kind of cooperation with that company, and that company speak to me that Harsh, we want such kind of network that whenever we send an email to any other company, it is completely encrypted. So what I did, I just create a such kind of certificate authority for the company, for the both companies, and whenever they send a mail, जब भी वो send करते हैं या receive करते हैं communication, तो encryption and decryption automatically होता है, जिसकी वजह से in between that part the communication or the like internet or XYZ जो network आपका रहता है वहाँ पर आपका पूरा means completely email is secure. Anyhow, if the hacker is trying to get the information as well, they are not about to get to the point because it is highly encrypted by a certificate. That's why. The third thing is we talk about the tokens. The token best example, just we did ADFS, as you know that, right? So guys, in ADFS, whenever we are trying to communicate, example, we are trying to communicate with web server will send a request to the resource server, then resource server will send a request to the account server, then account will confirm that user, then it's sent back to resource, and then it's sent back to the web server. Then only the client can access the resources, right? यही हमने अभी recently last video में किया था. तो guys, exactly the communication between web server to resource and resource to account, it is completely based on tokens. Tokens are nothing but the kind of information of your particularly like federation server, कि उस federation servers के जो भी आपके token systems हैं, like for the authentications point of view, like जब भी आप confirm करते हैं authentication from account server, so actually it is generated as such token, and token having a information of, guys, especially the information of user and groups or such kind of things. उस यूजर की पूरी इंफॉर्मेशन एंड ही विल चेक दैट ही इज एबल टू एक्सेस द रिसोर्स फ्रॉम द वेब सर्वर और नॉट. तो ये जब कंफर्म हो जाता है कि यूजर वेब सर्वर के कंटेंट एक्सेस कर सकता है, देन ओनली it allowed to access over the client systems. So that is all about the token, and sometime the server messages also will be encrypted. Like example is like better you talk about exchange server. जब भी आप एक internal organizations में काम करते हैं और such intranet में काम करते हैं, that time जब आप exchange server से communicate करते हैं तो definitely it could be encrypted communications, and that is also such used by the server messages. Like Active Directory also be a part of the server messages, so it is all about the same. The third thing is आपने बहुत जगह देखा होगा, like I talk about the internet here, the word is called internet. Exactly आपने देखा होगा बहुत सारी, even today's life ये बहुत common हो गया है सब लोगों के लिए, that everybody knows about HTTPS. HTTPS is for secure HTTP, port number 443, and exactly it is used SSL, secure socket layer. Actually, HTTPS is nothing but a kind of a protection of the certificate. A certificate is generated on the web server of the particular website. एक certificate generate होता है एक website पे ऊपर, and then whenever you're trying to communicate, आप जब भी कोशिश करते हैं communicate करने की, तो वो website HTTP से turnover होके HTTPS में convert हो जाती है, and that is highly encrypted or secure that you can easily see all the time. Whenever you start with the Internet Explorer and you go to the Gmail or any other website, I just use for the Gmail, and you see automatically here it is as you see the HTTPS option is available. And actually what is the meaning of this? The meaning is the security report, and it is the website is The connection to the server is encrypted. That means it is highly secured. So that's what we talk about the HTTPS here. The next is the encryption. The encryption is such kind of code is generated by the server or any computer that will be, should be protected by the certificate that nobody can access the data. कोई उसे access ना कर पाए, तो उसके लिए encryption such kind of codes generate होते हैं, जिनमें सबसे पहला हम consider करते हैं network data. इस purpose के लिए हम encryption apply करते हैं, और इसका best example है that HTTPS, because हम एक web application use कर रहे हैं using web browser, so that should be encrypted or such kind of secured. Second thing, IPsec, IP security. Whenever you're trying to implement the IP security for the company as well, you can use the encryption for that also to prevent from the unauthorized access inside the company. And the last not the least, if you do not have a server, so you can use the EFS option or encrypting file system options for the local self signed certificate use करके आप अपने data को encrypt कर सकते हैं, so that if somebody is copying the data from the one computer to another computer, still he is not about to access that data. The same thing you can apply using the encryption as well. The next thing is wireless. Actually guys, you know very well, wireless is बहुत लोगों के mind में ये always confusion रहता है कि there is such a big difference between the wired network and wireless is always slow. So guys, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है, wireless is not slow. हाँ, it is high, means little bit compatibility board पे देखा जाए तो little bit slow है, but not that much slow that you really compare it so much. The thing is, whenever you deal with wireless communication between the two companies, so that sort of kind of hackers is always sitting there, and they have such kind of wireless technologies that they can capture the signals what is going on nearby, and they can use some kind of applications or the software tools to decrypt that signal into such kind of data form, or such kind of data form like audio form or word form or something like that. तो वो आपकी information read कर सकते हैं. तो that is really very highly recommended that जब आप whenever you're trying to communicate, जब भी आप wireless network use करते हैं, so better you should use encrypted certificate for that, for the communication. And the last is smart card. Guys, a smart card is sort of kind of thing look like like this, a kind of credit card where the information is there, like a box is there, such kind of chip is there on this. And this chip, I guess in your organization you have such kind of card जो कंपनी ने आपको दिया. whenever you come inside the company, आपको एक मशीन के आगे like you have to put your card and automatically entry will be done, then they will count your attendance and all these kind of things. Actually it is considered as a smart card. Such kind of identities will be saved into chip, and it is nothing but such kind of document is generated, or digital document or certificate is generated and saved into the chip with an identity number of your name. So that, and sometime in the company आपने movies में भी बहुत देखा होगा, such kind of pin numbers are also there. It is a highly secured part and biometric devices. जब भी आप एक particular like एक room में enter करना चाहते हैं, then you can use your card. Once you swipe your card, then you have to put your pin number as well. Then he will check, cross check. Actually that time also is the use of the certificate, because certificate will have the identity of your name and your positions and everything that is saved into the certificate, so that जब भी आप swipe करते हैं उस machine में, biometric machines में, he will cross check and check your certificate authorities or such kind of permissions, that what is the kind of permission do you have to access this thing. So I guess you got my meaning. So it is all related to the smart card as well with certificate. But guys, I want to discuss something. Some days ago, I got a mail like this from the eBay that, dear member, we regret to inform that eBay account could be suspended if you are not re-update your account information. Actually, guys, why I want to share this thing, because it is all related to anti-phishing attacks. एंटी फिशिंग इज नथिंग बट वो आपको इन शॉर्ट हिंदी बोले तो गुमराह करते हैं, या फिर आपको दे आर ट्राइंग टू मेक यू फूल दैट आपका अकाउंट एक्सपायर हो गया है, या आप ऐसी ऑथेंटिकेशन हो गया, बिकॉज यू नो दैट इन ईबे यू हैव योर क्रेडिट इंफॉर्मेशन एज वेल, सो दैट कुछ लोग दे कैन यूज द ईबे और एनी अदर वेबसाइट, दे कैन डू इवन जब आप क्लिक करते हैं पर्टिकुलर दिस लिंक पे, then automatically it will divert it into this particular link. And guys, आप सब जानते हैं, when it is enter into this one, then you just give your username and the password. Once you sign in, automatically आपके account inside की information will reach to the hacker or any kind of, you know, who's trying to get this information, and वो unauthorized or anonymously आपके credit card की information use कर सकते हो. Guys, beware about these kind of things. And one more better example, it is a live example with one of my company employee. He is from US, because my company जो अभी collaboration हुआ है हमारी company का, that is based on such kind of, you know, American company. So in the US based company, there's one person, he is trying to be, you know, he don't know the you know, technologies and all these kind of things. They are general peoples, उनको हमारे मीन्स इन अटैक्स एंड इनके बारे में आइडिया नहीं होता. उनको जस्ट क्या बताया जाता है, वेन एवर यू हैव HTTPS हेयर, दिस इज द लिंक, बिकॉज बैंक वाले यही बताते हैं जब भी HTTPS है, एंड वेन यू विल सी दिस काइंड ऑफ लॉक, that means you are completely highly secured and you can make your information inside or something, means you can do whatever you want in the make changes in this. But guys, I found some days before, like in 2008, exactly what happened. The one person got this kind of information, then what happened, he is trying to be log in with the information of the particular server, and what happened at that time, जब उसने यहाँ पर क्लिक किया, this page will open, and he said that it is HTTPS, so it is highly secure, no problem at all. He give the account information, give the select location, and log in the ID and sign in. But what happened, guys? Before that, he come to me and ask, Harsh, is this secured? I said, let me check. Guys, I checked this one, mysecure-ssl.net, then bankofamerica.com. So guys, it is really a kind of, they are making fool of you. And because ये my.secure-ssl.net ये कभी भी use नहीं कर सकता Bank of America, so that's why I told him, do not do anything on this, and better you send a report to the Bank of America like this. So they send the information to Bank of America, and then the problem is solved. So guys, these are just an example of the phishing attack that is done by so many people. And one of my father also got these kind of mails of ICICI or HDFC, both. He's having the credit card, so he also got some kind of these kind of phishing attacks informations. So guys, let's discuss about the next point that we are talking about, PKI, that is public key infrastructure hierarchy example. Exactly, guys, before you deploy the certificate authority in the network, or such kind of who is providing, who is taking care of all kind of certificates in the generations in the company, so that this is kind of some kind of strategy making, how you can make the network. The PKI hierarchy will give you some idea कि कैसे आप अपने नेटवर्क में सर्टिफिकेट अथॉरिटी को डिप्लॉय करें. क्या ऐसे चीज़ें हैं, ऐसे कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैं जो आपको याद रखने हैं. तो एज यू सी इन दिस डायग्राम, आई हैव सेवरल different servers is available, and for your information, these all servers are the certificate authority servers. That means they are providing the certificates to the client जो हमारे नेटवर्क में लॉग इन होते हैं. The very first, root CA. Guys, root CA is the certificate authority or the main CA who is providing the certificate to these two certificate sub authority or subordinates in the network, so that ये provide करवाता है certificate authority to this kind of to another intermediate CA. This is called intermediate certificate authority, and one is responsible for user certificate and one is responsible for computer kind of certificate. That meaning is, whenever the user send an email or such kind of things, he will get a certificate from user certificate, and the same smart card he is trying to use, or because smart card also have the user information, also he will get the information from here. In case of web server is kind of identity of the computer, so that he will get the certificate from there. and IPsec also some kind of security for the point of like company point of security, so that it is also taken. But guys, what is my meaning to explain you here? My point is this, that is right, he's providing the certificate to this because these people do not have such kind of a kind of simplicity that they can create their own certificate, so that root certificate will implies and provide all certificate to them, so that these two intermediate certificate authorities, they will provide the certificates to rest of here the certificate authority, and these are called enterprise CA, the down one. मतलब क्या है गाइस, मेरा कहने का मतलब है एग्जैक्टली यहां पर आप देख रहे हैं कि एक हमारा रूट सी है एंड उसके अंदर हमारे दो टाइप के इंटरमीडिएट सी बने हैं. सो गाइस एग्जैक्टली ये एक जनरली लेयर में डिवाइडेड है. लेयर इज दिस, इन शॉर्ट यू कैन मेक इट लाइक दिस, इट कुड बी बेटर. एग्जैक्टली इट इज कॉल्ड टू टायर मॉडल, द टू टायर स्ट्रेटजी ऑफ पीकेआई. मीनिंग जैसे कि आप देख रहे हैं कि यहां पर जब ये डिजाइन हो जाते हैं, सो दीज आर द 4 डिफरेंट सर्वर्स कैन बी डिप्लॉय इन द कंपनी. बट गाइस एक बात याद रखिए, आप ये जो चारों सर्वर नीचे देख रहे हैं, यू कैन मेक दिस 4 EFS मींस ईमेल EFS, स्मार्ट कार्ड्स, वेब एंड IPsec. ये 4 काइंड की अथॉरिटीज आप एक सर्वर में भी डिजाइन कर सकते हैं इफ यू वांट. But guys, the problem is what? The problem is only if this goes down, so that means all kind of email authorities or certificate authorities goes down automatically. So for the better fault tolerance or such kind of the company redundancy of certificate authority, better you should be deployed like this. Specifically this server for email, this for smart card, this for web server, and this for IPsec. Now the meaning is exactly डिजाइन करने का यूज क्या है. सो गाइस आप ये ऐसा स्ट्रक्चर डिजाइन करके जो ये 4 नीचे दिख रहे हैं, एक्सेप्ट दैट आप इन सर को इसको इसको और इसको यू कैन मेक डिसेबल. आप इसे डिसेबल कर सकते हैं बिकॉज वंस it is providing, like take an example, once this root CA provide the certificate to this, so this will issue the certificate to web server and IPsec. जब रूट सीए इन दोनों सर्वर को, मतलब इन दोनों सर्वर को जब वो सर्टिफिकेट असाइन कर देता है, बिकॉज ये दोनों अपने बेस पे असाइन नहीं कर सकते, तो ही विल गेट द सर्टिफिकेट फ्रॉम रूट सीए. जब इनको मिल जाता है तो दे विल डू द सेम थिंग ऑल्सो, दैट दे विल ट्रांसफर और काइंड ऑफ शेयर देयर सर्टिफिकेट एंड पुट इन टू द these subordinate means some kind of child certificate authorities. So जब ये इसे इशू कर देते हैं तो you can disable these certificate authority and you make save the certificate of these all root CA and computer and user intermediate CA into the DVD, so that अगर आपको कभी भी दोबारा से इनको डिप्लॉय करना पड़े because such kind of problem may happen or these are not about to work properly, so that you can directly deploy from the certificate from the DVD. Or actually मैं आपको बताता हूँ the real infrastructure right now in the companies. What happened? These 3 means up to the intermediate CA. Exactly क्या होता है कि ये तीनों जब डिज़ाइन हो जाते हैं और उनके साथ साथ हमने कंपनी में कुछ सर्टिफिकेट अथॉरिटीज डिज़ाइन कर दी हैं लाइक दिस फॉर एन एग्जाम्पल, सो दैट वो इन्हें एज ए वर्चुअल मशीन लाइक VMware और माइक्रोसॉफ्ट VPC और वर्चुअल बॉक्स और माइक्रोसॉफ्ट माइक्रो सिस्टम वर्चुअल बॉक्स, इन ऐसी वर्चुअल काइंड ऑफ थिंग में इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में वो डिज़ाइन करते हैं. एंड वंस इट इज़ डिप्लॉय सक्सेसफुली एंड प्रोवाइड द सर्टिफिकेट टू द ईमेल स्मार्ट एंड दिस ऑल थिंग, तो इन्हें डिसेबल कर दिया जाता है फॉर द पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, सो दैट ये जो नीचे है दे विल टेक केयर ऑफ इफ द क्लाइंट. वाई? बिकॉज इफ द टेक एन एग्जाम्पल, इफ द क्लाइंट if having the authority or certificate of the root certificate like this, अगर ये enable है, like take an example, ये enable है और it is working fine, this also working fine, by mistake if this client having the permissions to have the इसके trusted root certification store में उसने root CA का certificate install कर लिया, तो that ऑटोमेटिकली ये सारे सर्वर के जो सर्टिफिकेट होंगे इसको ऑटोमेटिकली ट्रस्ट हो जाएंगी, स्पीक ऑटोमेटिकली. सो इसको अगेन एंड अगेन पूछने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, एंड दिस इज फॉर द सिक्योरिटी. सो सिक्योरिटी आपकी डेफिनेटली लेस हो जाएगी. और if the hacker is sitting and by mistake he got to get inside to the firewall and by mistake he got to know about the root certificate and he read the identity of the root CA certificate, so that whenever these all means clients and anything will send over the internet then what will happen, जब वो इंटरनेट पे एक्सेस करेंगे तो he will read all kind of information because he got the information of the root CA and he decrypt the root. So many tools are available that you can decrypt the certificates as well. So guys, that's why you have to create this strategy properly for to deploy your company thing. The very first thing जो इससे अप आपको दिख रहा है, इस लाइन से जो भी अप आपको दिख रहा है, दैट इज कॉल्ड स्टैंडअलोन एंटरप्राइज मींस एंड स्टैंडअलोन सीए अथॉरिटी, एंड जो इसके नीचे है दैट इज कॉल्ड एंटरप्राइज अथॉरिटी, बिकॉज एंटरप्राइज इज सॉर्ट ऑफ काइंड ऑफ a domain kind of structure is there, and standalone means it is not connected with any kind of domain. What does it mean? I will show you in this. So this is the difference between standalone versus enterprise CA. What is the difference? The thing, जब भी आप standalone design करते हैं, there is no such requirement of the AD. That means that time अगर आप deploy करते हैं तो यहाँ पर आपको AD की ज़रूरत नहीं है, और that means AD will not be deploy at this particular time. मतलब जो ये standard intermediate CA हैं, इनको deploy करने के लिए ऐसा कोई mandatory नहीं है, but if you do not want to use the AD, that you can do. Second thing, अगर आपके पास स्टैंडअलोन है, सो आपकी जो रिक्वेस्ट है वो मैन्युअली आपको कॉन्फ़िगर करनी पड़ेगी. दैट मीन्स सच काइंड ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन, एंड जो रिक्वेस्ट हमारे क्लाइंट से आई हुई हैं उनको मैन्युअली आपको एक्सेप्ट करना पड़ेगा. मीनिंग इज, टेक एन एग्जांपल, दिस इज माय सर्टिफिकेट सर्वर and one of my the client is here. Now the communication, he wants to access such kind of resources and he send a request to this that please give me the permission, so that a request is pending, so that जो स्टैंडअलोन सीए पे काम कर रहा होगा मैन्युअली हु उसको आना पड़ेगा एंड उसकी रिक्वेस्ट को इशू करना पड़ेगा. वंस यू राइट क्लिक एंड देन यू क्लिक ऑन इशू और समथिंग लाइक दैट. तो मतलब क्या है गाइस, जस्ट थिंक अबाउट सो मेनी क्लाइंट्स यू हैव टू क्लिक ऑल द थिंग्स मैन्युअली to accept the request. The second thing, there is no designed certificate templates to deploy for the easy deployment of the certificate, because as you know we are not the certificate deployer or such kind of web developer, हम नहीं हैं. So for the better simplifications to you for the network deployment और हमारे नेटवर्क में यूज़ करने के लिए सर्टिफिकेट्स को, तो हमारे कुछ टेम्पलेट्स डिज़ाइन होते हैं बाय डिफ़ॉल्ट, तो वो स्टैंडअलोन में अवेलेबल नहीं होंगे. एंड एज यू सी, अगर आपका टेक एन एग्जांपल इसको इशू कर भी लिया है, सो इफ ही वांट्स टू एक्सेस द सर्वर, सो मैन्युअली आपको इस क्लाइंट पे जाके मैन्युअली आपको ट्रस्टेड रूट सर्टिफिकेशन स्टोर में आपको सर्टिफिकेट इंस्टॉल करना पड़ेगा मैन्युअली. दिस इज अगेन द होल कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ द मैनुअल थिंग दैट आई टॉक अबाउट हियर. And the last thing is, you can consider standalone as a root or the subordinates. That's what I talk about already. The like root and the subordinates or the intermediate CA are here is the same thing. But guys, our main focus area is enterprise CA. Why? Because exactly the use of this CA is really so much in the company. The very first required Active Directory. Actually, to deploy this thing, you required an Active Directory. So that जितने भी client हैं, as you know that for the centralized communication system for the company, Active Directory की ज़रूरत हर जगह होती है. So जब भी आपकी Active Directory mess होगी आपके certificate में, that is considered or could be a enterprise CA. And very good advantage of the enterprise CA is the auto enrollment, जो आपको यहाँ पर manually enter करना पड़ता था, उसकी pending request को confirm करना पड़ता था, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं करना पड़ता. It is automatically done by auto enrollment feature in enterprise CA. And as well as you can provide such kind of certificates, templates for the smart card and the token, and as I told you, ये सब automatically by default available होंगे, आपको कुछ करने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. And apart from that, the concept is called revoked published certificate, and revoked means AD. That means हमारे पहले Windows Server 2003 में old session में it is called CRL और CRL means Certificate Revocation List. आपको एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल देने की कोशिश करता हूं. अगर इस क्लाइंट का एक सर्टिफिकेट जो आपने इसको डिप्लॉय किया है या इसको इशू किया है, like I will give like this, looks like so much bad, like chess skating and all this kind of thing. So come back and then take an example. इस सर्टिफिकेट अथॉरिटी ने उसको ये सर्टिफिकेट जनरेट किया है and it is going to expire today, so that certification revocation list or revoked concept, what he will do, ये आपका सर्टिफिकेट की रीड करेगा, उसकी जो एक्सपायरी डेट है एंड एक्सपायर होने से पहले उसको ऑटोमेटिकली री ऑथेंटिकेट कर देगा या उसको रीपब्लिश कर देगा, सो दैट आपका जो कम्युनिकेशन ऑलरेडी इस्टेब्लिश है क्लाइंट का, वो आपका ब्रेक नहीं होगा. सो दैट इज अ गुड थिंग इन एंटरप्राइज सीए. दैट ऑप्शन इज नॉट अवेलेबल इन स्टैंडअलोन सीए एज वेल. And apart from that, type 2 and type 3, exactly type 2 and type 3 is nothing but such kind of templates, is specifically like exchange server or web server and these kind of, administrator, domain controller, client authentication, server authentication. कुछ इस तरीके के certificate templates is by default available in enterprise CA. So you can use the template and use the template for, थोड़ी सी मॉडिफिकेशन करके आप अपने रियल सिनेरियो में इन टेम्पलेट्स को यूज कर सकते हैं. एंड द लास्ट थिंग इज ऑटो फिल्ड रिक्वेस्ट. एज अ टोल्ड यू, यहां पर आपको मैनुअली आपको रिक्वेस्ट के इश्यूज करने पड़ते थे, मतलब कंफर्म करने पड़ते थे. एट द पॉइंट ऑफ द एंटरप्राइज सीए इट इज ऑटोमेटिकली डन. So that's what all about the difference between standalone and enterprise CA. So I hope you got my meaning. Standalone is used in that situation where all the work groups are working or such peer-to-peer network is working. But whenever you talk about the Active Directory, so better I suggest you to use enterprise CA. So guys, let's jump back on the Windows Server 2008 and start deploying CA. As you see, हमारे पास यहाँ पर dc.mylab.com, this is my server, is already done. And apart from that, this is my ADCS, as you see right now. And I'm just right now be a member of mylab.com, as you see right now. And I do not have installed any kind of roles, as you see. The zero roles are installed by default, so it is a recommendation that you can deploy CA on the side of like this kind of thing. So just right click on roles, because this is the way how to install the CA into the network. So just click on next, and here you have the option ADCS, Active Directory Certificate Services, as you see here. आपको यहाँ click करना है and just click on next. This is the sort of information, just kind of the information he give, that you are not about to change your computer name. That means जो भी हमारा computer name है यहाँ पर, that is my like CAENT root, मैं ये change नहीं कर पाऊंगा, because once the certificate will be installed, so some kind of metadata will be collaborate with the computer name, so that अगर आपने computer name change किया, so that आपके पूरे certificate strategies में problem आ सकती हैं. तो better you just give the information later, you cannot change after the installation. So just click next. Now you will find out some informations in here. It's the first is the certificate authority that we talk about always, that will provide some kind of certificates to the client. The second thing is the web enrollment, and he's just asking for IS as well. This option is also going to be included automatically in certificate authority. Guys, ये option मैं use करूँगा for the better configuration of the HTTP, means अगर आपके users such kind of web applications use कर रहे हैं, so वहाँ पर हमारे web enrollment use होंगे, जिसका best example आप already देख चुके हैं ADFS में. The third thing is online responder. Guys, this is really a pretty nice handy tool or kind of add-on is added into the certificate authority server. Why? Because exactly पुराना क्या होता था, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया था CRL, Certificate Revocation List. तो actually in revocation list is generated a kind of list is automatically check in the old certificates कि कौन सा certificate expire होने वाला है, so that online responder is pretty fast. Exactly. Sort of kind of the same CRL, but it is quite fast. So I recommend you this one. In the next video we will cover in the practical point of view how exactly the online responder work. And the next thing is network device enrollment services as well. The network device enrollment service is used for the routers and the switches, like कुछ हमारे router switches काम कर रहे हैं for the internal organizations, so that हमारा सर्टिफिकेट सर्वर एक सर्टिफिकेट जनरेट करेगा फॉर द आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ द स्पेसिफिक राउटर एंड द स्विच, जिससे आप ये आइडेंटिफाई कर पाएंगे कि ये राउटर, ये स्विच मेरा इस कंपनी में, मेरा स्विच काम कर रहा है या मेरा राउटर काम कर रहा है मेरी कंपनी में. Apart from the certificate enrollment web services, like such kind of आपका trust relationship build up हुआ है, and वहाँ पर आपकी दूसरी लोकेशन पे आपकी कंपनी की एक एप्लीकेशन डिज़ाइन करने वाले हैं लोग, so that time also you required some certificate enrollment web services as well. And the last thing is policy web services. Policy means such kind of like you design that specifically this group or this particular user only assigned this particular certificate. So these kind of policy you can design in certificate enrollment policy. For right now, I will consider these two and just click on next. Now, as you see, I select the enterprise, and guys, one thing I want to tell you, like as you see, my computer is here is R2 enterprise. Guys, data center and the enterprise will provide you the better facility of the certificate templates, and as I talk about, template is only available in the enterprise. लेकिन फिर भी एक ऑप्शन है, अगर आपकी कंपनी में पीयर टू पीयर या वर्क ग्रुप नेटवर्क चल रहा है and still you want to provide certificate so that you can use standalone. But right now, as you see, I'm I'm already a client of the mylab.com, so better should I will show you the confirmation that I am. So I am the domain member of the mylab.com, so that better I should collect not collect, like connect, sorry, connect enterprise and click on next. Now there's two options, the root CA subordinate that I already explained you about, the root CA and the subordinate. So I consider, because हमारे पास कोई certificate authority अभी तक install नहीं है, so I consider as a root CA. Just next. Now guys, the option is right now I'm going to choose create a new private key, because इससे पहले मेरा कोई सर्टिफिकेट डिजाइन नहीं हुआ, लेकिन अगर डिजाइन होता then you can use the existing private key as well. Means what? अगर आपके पास ऑलरेडी सर्टिफिकेट like private key, that means certificate authority installed है and you save your private key in your DVD or something like that, and बाद में क्या हुआ, by mistake आपका hard drive crash हो गया, that is an exceptional case, but hard drive crash हो गया, that time आपको certificate same authorities आपको चाहिए जो पहले services provide करवा रहा था. So you can use the same existing private key so that जो आपके subordinates काम कर रहे हैं उनको कोई issue या problem ना हो working करने में. But right now, better should select a new private key because we do not have before the same certificate authority. And here guys, as you see, there are so many different organizations providing you some certificates, and by default is RSAs, Microsoft generated, because जैसे आपने देखा कि हमारे पास कुछ websites होती हैं that is verified by this company, verified by VeriSign, Thirty, Google is Thirty, like Thirty consultancy, like certificate authorities, or VeriSign, Hotmail is authenticated by VeriSign. So these kind of thing, अगर आपने उनकी authorities या उनकी certificate आपने CSP, that is called cryptographic service provider, अगर आपने उसकी एक फाइल import की है, so that उनकी information भी यहाँ पर दिख सकती है and you can provide them as well to deploy. The key character length, आपकी जितनी ज़्यादा बड़ी character length होगी उतना बड़ा आपका means complicated आपका certificate design होगा, and quite well as well. And as you know that by default it is selected SHA-1. It is a, as you know, in the past 2006 and 2003 time, the SHA designed as a most highly secured cryptographic algorithm for the encrypted algorithm in short. Before it was MD5 as you see here. But आपको एक बात बताना चाहूँगा, जितना बड़ा आपका value होगा like SHA-512, that one is a more complicated certificate as well. And the allow administrator interaction for this one accessed by CA, that means the administrator means who is having the authorities, like other user also have the administrator authorities as well, they can also make changes into this. So right now by default I go for the SHA-1 and click on next. This is the just sort of kind of name, no need to change. And as you see, this is the distinguished name, that means I was a member of some mylab.com. Next. Now this is the specific year, that up to this particular year it is providing, he's going to provide the root authorities or some kind of certificates to the rest of the strategies designed in PKI. So he will provide the, as a root CA, he will provide the certificates to other intermediate CA as well. Just next, these are the server locations, but guys, want to tell you, I recommend you do not go for the same location where you have installed the operating system, because ये सही नहीं है कि अगर आप same location में आप save करते हैं, ये बात मैं पहले भी discuss कर चुका हूँ. So better you should select any other location to save the information of these logs and all, because later it is quite most important in case of recovery of the certificate or such kind of recovery points. So just next, here's the information of the IIS, because we added some kind of components. So just this is just an information. This is the default services that we have installed. or going to install in this one, just next and click on install, and then automatically this will be installed after some time. So just wait and watch. He will take a little bit time for the installation, and once it is installed, you have to go for the and deal with some kind of certificate things. Let's see. सो गाइज, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि अभी इस वीडियो में तो हम कवर कर रहे हैं हाउ टू जस्ट इंस्टॉल द सी ए एंड हाउ टू डील विद इट, बट इन द नेक्स्ट वीडियो आई विल जस्ट एक्सप्लेन यू हाउ टू रियली यूज़ द सर्टिफिकेट इन टू द नेटवर्क, कैसे हम उसे एनरोल करेंगे, कैसे ऑटो एनरोलमेंट फीचर को हम इनेबल कर सकते हैं. सो दीज काइंड ऑफ फीचर्स, व्हाट इज़ ऑनलाइन रिस्पॉन्डर, कैसे हम उसे यूज़ कर सकते हैं, व्हाट इज़ OSCP, कैसे हमारे ये ऑनलाइन रिस्पॉन्डर जो हमारे सर्विस पॉइंट्स होते हैं कैसे कॉन्फ़िगर किए जाते हैं. तो देयर आर सॉर्ट ऑफ थिंग, सो मेनी थिंग दैट वी आर गोइंग टू कवर इन द नेक्स्ट video. It is a part 2, so that it is just for the implementation for the CA. So let's it will be finished soon, and once it is finished I will show you how exactly the thing going to see after the installation of this particular thing. So जैसे कि आपने देखा guys, it is successfully installed, and do one thing, once it is installed I want to show you in the roles you will get us one thing, like it is called Active Directory Certificate Services. Once you click on it, you will get such kind of options like this, and you will get enterprise PKI, because I told you the infrastructure you have to design, and this is the root, CA root, and it is all in the next video I will explain better. And here are some certificate templates is by default available to use it. So in templates ko use karke you can deploy these certificates for the company point of view as well, and these are the like kind of authority who can issue certificate. Let's like he issued the certificate for the CA exchange certificate or these kind of things, and some pending request generation failed, and these are the certificate available for the client. ये कुछ certificate हैं जो हमारे client के लिए available हैं. So these all things, how to use these or certificate templates and all, I'm going to explain in the next video. So guys, we just covered about how to what exactly the use of certificate, and how and what is the concept of the PKI hierarchy, and what is the difference between standalone enterprise as well as the certificate authority, how to install it. So that will be all about this video. In the next video, part 2, we are going to cover, or we can check how exactly we can deploy the certificate services into the network. Thanks guys, thanks for watching my video. Have a nice day.